Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning in to another video. Looking here at the Nasdaq 100, still taking trades off this market here. I haven't taken a trade on the ES since the beginning of the new year, which we're only a few days into the new year. But I wanted to show a couple of entries that I actually took today and shared with the, one so far that I took and shared with the Discord community. So if you're not in Discord, member is free of charge. You can find the link down in the description portion of the video. But it was a short entry, and I'm going to explain to you, my thought process and looking at the market as a whole. I trade range-based charts. If you're someone that's new to actually the channel here, so as you can see here, just overall, really it doesn't matter probably what I should say time frame, but what type of charts you actually trade, whether they're range-based charts, tick-based, volume-based, time-based. You should be able to determine the structure of the market. When I say structure of the market, I'm talking about the overall structure, whether it's, from a long-term standpoint, when I'm talking about the market trending, are we making higher highs and higher lows, or, lower lows and lower highs? Okay, so you should be able to follow that day to day or session to session to see, what's taking place. And what I see is the markets are making lower lows and lower highs to the downside, towards the end of the month of December and still into the new year here. So we're bearish, okay? Yeah, we did come down today about around the opening of the session and start to break, areas of structure back to the upside of here, meaning making higher highs and higher lows, breaking structure to the upside. But this is the high on the day right here, okay, around 584. So to me, if we break that high on the day, then yes, we were definitely going to have a major structural shift, and that'd be a major area of structure. So that'd be a major breaker structure again to the upside here if we break above today's high pretty much at 587. My outlook is still a little bit bearish, to be honest with you, just kind of following the trend of the overall higher time frame. Even if you were to take it like a channel here, okay, it looks something like this still moving lower, right? Making lower lows and lower highs. Even though we got this nice or significant pullback or retracement, this could just be a deep retracement coming up here, wanting to test the highs today, and then it breaks structure back below the lows for today, okay? So then that'll be, another pretty much major area structure break right here, breaking the lows for today, okay? So as we stand right now, I mean, the market is pretty much retracing, making these higher highs and higher lows. And then as it turns around here, if we continue breaking a structure to the downside, taking out these minor areas of structure right here, again, this will be a major area of structure right here, 443, break below that. So right now we broke this small area of structure here, haven't broke this area, but each one of these areas that we start to break back down to the downside, what are considered minor areas of structure. So you have to really, I talk about market structure every single day. It is the key ingredient, is the major recipe to what makes a difference between someone that's going to be a profitable, successful trader. Even if you're starting off, trust me, when I first started off, I thought I knew market structure. I thought I knew how to read the market, and I was taking every trade, pretty much on pullbacks, okay? And even though the market seemed to me, as we were, say for instance, just an example, moving to the upside, trending, ultimately we were just retracing back up to the upside here, and the overall direction of the market was bearish. So I was having a hard time really understanding and seeing the trend. And the only way to really truly understand the trend is to 100% be able to read market structure as a whole. Okay, so I'm saying right now we're still bearish from my mindset. Maybe you trade a little different than I do, and maybe you read the market a little bit different than I do, but how I read it right now, we are still bearish until we start to break the highs for today. I'm not saying that you can't take trades going long if you can find a good entry point or whatever the case is, but to me, overall you'd be counter trend trading against the grain, which is the sentiment of the market to the downside, and looking at structure and how I look at it. Okay, again, we're breaking minor areas of structure to the downside. So what I was waiting for to see if we were going to come back and test this area here. This was from yesterday's session, the close. We had a low here, made a low, lower high, and then a lower low here. Pretty much, a structure break to the downside. Now, if you focus what happened within this swing right here, this aggressive area of selling right here, you know, red candle, red candle, red candle, aggressive selling. What is that? An area of supply. We're bearish, so when we're bearish, we're looking for supply setups off of a higher time frame. I'm not saying you have to wait specifically for these type movements back to these zones, but when you do, they're more impactful and powerful, because when they do reject it, then they're typically going to move in the same direction as the market's already been trending. So we have the market retracing and tapping back into that zone. Now, I was waiting on that to actually unfold and happen today, and I took a short in this area here. But before I talk about that specific trade right there, I want to talk about a trade that I took, and I posted it on the Discord community. I'm going to show it to you right now. Okay, give me 1 second here. Bring it over here so you can see it. This is the trade that I took right here. It was like about a 9-point scalp going short on the Nasdaq. So it was in this area right here, and we're going to take a look at that here on the chart in a second. But I posted this over in the Discord, and that's the great thing about the Discord community, is that we have a great community of traders that come together, and we share our entries on the day. Lots of times I'll kind of push out a zone that I'm looking at, or state of zone I'm looking at. I'm not saying that I'm sending alerts in any kind of way. I'm not doing that. I'm just letting you know, in my mindset of how I trade, I share it with the community. I'm not telling people to take those type of trades or take the trades. I'm just saying this is what I'm looking at. Now you may be looking at something different, because we do have people on the server, on the channel, that actually trade different than the way I do. I trade supply and demand. Okay, and even if you trade supply and demand, you may have your own twist on how you actually trade it. I talk about the strategy and how I trade in great detail, in depth, in many videos here on this channel. So if you're someone that's new to watching the channel first time, then you can actually educate yourself by watching the videos in reference to the way that I actually trade. I'm not telling anyone to trade like me, and these videos are just for pure entertainment purposes. And a lot of people, they take them and they use them, maybe for educational purposes, but that's up to you. I'm just making and posting these videos, as I've been doing since the beginning, to share the way I trade and my experience throughout my journey in trading. It was never my goal to really unleash all these videos and make all these videos, but I thought to myself, well, if personally, if I could share something with someone through experience, through my eyes and the way I do it and how I see the markets, then maybe that will give someone else the edge. So again, there have been people who are part of the community, lots of individuals that have picked up on through watching the videos and educated themselves, because I'm not a mentor, guys. I'm not an educator or a teacher, but by means of what I'm sharing, even though a lot of you have, deemed me to be an educator through the instructional videos, or not saying instructional videos, but through the videos I've created, a lot of you found them to be educational. So I thank you for saying so, but I'm just telling you that from my standpoint, I don't hold myself as the title of an educator or teacher or an instructor. I'm just sharing through the way I trade with you guys. So it's up to you, if you want to watch the videos and grasp the information and use it in your own personal trading. Lots of traders who are part of the elite channel supporter tier, which is, I'll go into that and talk about that a little bit later, but have joined that, and to give them greater access to my trade breakdowns and the video playlists and things of that nature. And that's helped them as well. So if you come over to the Discord community, it's free. Find the link down in the description portion of this video. You can come over and ask tons of individuals on the channel, if they found success in watching the videos, if the videos helped them out. You're going to find that a lot of people have turned their trading around from where they may have been, red on the day consistently for years, and now breaking even and showing, and lots of them are profiting now. So it's just up to you. You have to make that choice. Do you want to continue doing things the way you're doing them, and maybe not trading as well, to come over and maybe learn something a little bit different, by educating yourself. Again, I don't have like a training course or trading course. I'm not a mentorship or a program like that. I just primarily just make these videos and provide them for free. I put them out here publicly so that people can gain access to what I feel like is information that people shouldn't have to be charged for. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's the great thing about the internet. We can go in here and find things, but the problem is you don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work, and you have to continue weeding out that, going through that process of weeding through things. But I just share the way I do it. Okay, so again, if you're interested in becoming part of the Discord, you can find that link down in the description portion of the video. But let me jump back over to the trade I was talking about here, and move this over. So this entry right here that I took, okay, it was from this area here around 10:55 today. It was a short entry. I already mentioned to me that we're in a bearish mode. Now, I was waiting for it to come back up to this area where the supply zone rested, right here at 51. It didn't tap into that, but what it started doing was retracing back, okay? Retracing back, making higher highs and higher lows. And again, like I said, when I was doing that, making these higher highs and higher lows, yeah, it was breaking through some areas of structure here, but again, we're overall bearish. I noticed that there was, an imbalance area right here close to this zone. Oh, not close to the zone, but close where this area was where I took my short at, okay? So the market started retracing back, and it started rejecting right here within this area of, I'm going to show you, right here to right here, okay? And if I was to draw this out, you would see that there's an area of imbalance right there. The market started rejecting that, okay? And all I was looking for was a quick scalp at that area of imbalance right there, back down to this area here around 521, okay? So let me show you. So right here, this ellipse area right here, that's that area I showed you over on the image that I pulled from Discord, the trade that I took. Now, I just didn't jump into the trade when it tapped in there. I want to see rejection, and I want to see a structural break below, so we tapped into that area of imbalance. And again, this is not a supply setup, even though I was waiting on that supply setup back at the top there. But I noticed the market started rejecting that area, and the market will move into areas of fair value gaps or imbalances, and it will, if there's opportunity from time, there's opportunity to, if you notice rejection, to take trades, but you have to understand the overall direction of the market and which way to take those trades. So I knew that we were bearish. I'm looking for an opportunity to go short as we were approaching that area of supply. So this area right here, again, I showed you, was this imbalance area right here. So when the market got back there, I noticed a structural break to the downside. I noticed aggressive selling that took place as it moved lower and broke below this area here, structure at 527. When it did that and pulled back, there's an area of supply resting right here, aggressive selling. So when it did that, again, I was looking here at my higher time frame. And notice that we got the rejection here around 42, and that's another thing as well. There's multiple means of confluence there. We have an imbalance area there. We also have the 40 pivot number, which I talked about in so many videos. It's a hidden pivot level that a lot of people don't know about, or a lot of traders don't talk about. Those so-called gurus that are making all these videos out here, they don't talk about all the different levels, the half numbers, the round numbers. The pivot areas are hidden areas that that a lot of traders should be privy to. But we rejected at that area. So we had the hidden pivot area 40. We had the imbalance area as well, resting in this area here off the higher time frame. So I'll go back to the lower time frame. Once we get the rejection there at those two confluenced areas, it broke structure below. Aggressive selling. I looked for the pullback, and I went short once I got the break of the candle below. I think I took out at 24, which was right below the low of this area right here at 24. So when it came back to this area, I was looking for it to run the low right here at 24, and it did that. And I was able to pick up 9 points pretty easy on that, once it rejected that area there. Now, the next trade that I took, I was looking at, again, waiting for it to tap into this supply area right here. Now, it tapped into it. If you notice, it kept pushing deep into the zone, all right? And it actually wicked out above it. So this is what I consider, in a sense, where it wicked out above it. It violated the zone, for one, okay? Most times, if it violates the zone, we know not to do what? Take the trade, or look for an opportunity to take the trade. But if you notice what it did, once it wicked out, right, instead of closing above the zone, it wicked out above it. So this would be considered what most of us would look at as a liquidity grab. It did. It went up there and grabbed a few areas of liquidity right here above these wicks. Went up there. Then we got this bearish hammer candle to the downside after that wick. Okay, so that was a sign of rejection. I said, okay, this is probably a liquidity grab. They haven't cleared the zone in a sense where they closed above it, but they're grabbing liquidity, and it's probably going to run back down and start testing some lower areas. And I was looking for it to come back down to this around this 540 area, okay, for at least that be the first area where they're going to test. So if we go over to the chart now, and that was at 1130, I'll show you that area. All right. So what I did was, when I saw that it came up there, grab liquidity, and then I saw this hammer candle close pretty much to the downside. I waited for rejection, it means a rejection. I want to see a break of structure to the downside. So the market started running up there. Then we got the close below here at 570. All right, it pushed down, pulled back, we broke lower. Aggressive selling right here to the downside, closing below this area here at 570. So when I saw that aggressive selling, I looked for a pullback to this area of supply right here. Okay, this area of supply. Now there was a gap, there was a void back to this area here. As you can see, a very small one there. The market comes back there within a few ticks of tapping into it. I think it was like 2 ticks, and I told myself, if we get the rejection, I'm going short. All right, so it got up there, kind of moved, got a little small little M structure right there on the 12 range chart. We got the break of the candle below here, below at 569.5, right here with this red candle closing below this last, this green candle right here. So at 569.5 or a quarter, I went short. Okay, and that was for a nice trade back down to the downside. And the thing is, once you get to the trade on the 12R, I'm looking for it to run the low below here at 545. All right, so that was another nice short. Why? Because overall we are bearish when it comes to looking at the higher time frame. Okay, so we got up here, we didn't break the highs, even though it looked like it was trying to break the highs, guys. We still rejected that area there, so I was looking for that short setup. I don't take the trades off of the 60 range chart. I'm looking to take them off of, when I notice rejection, off the lower time frame, the 12 range chart. And then what does it do? It continues running to the downside. Okay, it hit that area I talked about at 540, broke below this area of structure right here to the downside. Some minor structure break back to the downside. Because again, we are bearish. So once I notice that right there, okay, I say, once it breaks a minor area of structure and we're already in this trending, moving in the direction of the higher time frame, then you can look for opportunities to go short. So if we look back down to the lower time frame chart, there is an opportunity to go short right here. Okay, so we broke below 17, which was right here, or 17, 18 area. Okay, that was that area of structure on the higher time frame. When I noticed that we broke below there, I said, okay, we're breaking minor areas of structure back down to the downside. The overall direction of the market is bearish. Let's look for a short setup. Okay, now I missed this opportunity, but I did post it over in the Discord and let everyone know that that was an actual short. But anyways, this was a push down, pull back, break of structure, aggressive selling to the downside, came back up to the zone here. All right, there was a small gap, void back to the zone of supply right here. I'm going to go ahead and mark this as red because it was a supply zone, and I'll leave it blue until I'll leave it blue. Once I mark my zones, whether it's on a higher or lower time frame chart, I'll leave them blue. And if the market doesn't violate them, then I'll go ahead and and it follows through, then and rejects it, then I'll change the color to red if it's a supply zone. If it's a demand zone, then I'll change it to green. This case here was supply. So we got the break of the candle to close the opposite direction. Go short. We're below the low right here at 514, and it aims for lower areas below that. So and then it ran lower right here. Okay. Now this is a little tricky right here if you took this trade on this pullback. Yes, this was aggressive selling right here, but this candle, this is wick right here. There's no body to it. So if you took that trade going short, you may have gotten lucky, but I wouldn't have taken that. It did come back up here and test the area again. So I mean, it was a I'm not gonna call it a valid short because, in all honesty, when it broke here, and this could have been when it broke lower, this could have been a pullback candle, whatever the case is. It broke lower. There was aggressive selling that took place here, so maybe you dig into the short right here. All right, and it runs down to the lows right here, okay, and fills these imbalances back down to the downside, and eventually it does run lower and take out that low right there. What it's aiming for was the low of this swing right here, back to the upside, down here at 505 and a little bit below that, okay? So the low of that area is 495. So the question is now, what is it going to do? It's going to break below this low here, below this low here, and then run and start trying to come down towards the lows of today, you don't know. I mean, because it could reject any one of these areas, but as long as it continues to start, and continue breaking through minor areas of structure, you can look for short opportunities on the lower time frame. So it makes a low here, okay, and then it pulls back to, it didn't reject. This right here was an area of supply resting right here. You can see it. I mean, plain as day, clear as day. Aggressive selling. It broke below that area. It actually closed above that area. So there's also supply resting right here. Look what it did when it got up to this area right here. Let me show you. Look, what is this? Supply. What happened when it got to that? So this is supply here. It violated, broke through it, pulled back, okay? Broke up to the next area of supply. What did it do? It rejected that area. Where's it aiming for now? Let's see. More than likely, it's probably going to clear this area and break below this low here at 501.25. Okay, and then it may try to push on down, and it's back down here at this low, this swing right here on the higher time frame. But again, if it breaks below this area here, 495, it's going to continue probably running lower. But to me, it looks like it's definitely going to break after tapping into the supply zone on the lower time frame, break 501, okay, or 500. Now 500 is a round number, so it could bounce here. So keep that in mind too, because it bounced one time, and the market likes to react at half round in those hidden pivot areas, okay? Let's see, look at it. Coming down it, boom, it breaks it. See? As I'm sitting here, this is clear as day talking to you about this. What does it do? Come down there and breaks it. All right, so that's pretty much all I wanted to show you in this video here. Same thing with trading supply and demand, looking for those. That is the bread and butter, the cornerstone of actually how I trade. If you wait for great setups, either supply or demand areas. In this case here, we want to take supply because we are overall in the higher time frame bearish. If you're looking for, to me, I'm not saying you can't take long entries, but my mindset and understanding and looking at market structure is taking shorts only at this time right now. Even though it looked like we were bearish on the day, it's not bearish, excuse me, we were bullish on the day since the opening. Yeah, we were, but overall, we're still bearish. We are still bearish. Okay, again, could you look for opportunities to take longs? You could, but the best opportunities are going to be understanding and following the structure of the market and taking your trades in the direction of the higher time frame and how in the direction with and how the market is trending. So understand that as well. Look at it. We just broke through this major area structure, right? Not major area, this minor area structure at 495 and 3/4 right there. So what could possibly happen now? Well, we could pull back to this area right here at 502, all right, or maybe a little higher, and then look for rejection, okay? All right, now this is the area of supply right here. Boom, break a structure. It breaks lower, pulls back, break structure. This now is an area of supply on the higher time frame. We're just going to mark it here right quick. That's supply, okay? Just as this was supply, we can put an X there because the market did violate it. But what it did was, again, that was a liquidity grab. Where it slightly broke above or through the area of supply, turned back around just to push lower. So this was primarily a liquidity grab. If you know how to trade it, same way as it would supply or demand, we just look for once it rejects that area, it grabs liquidity, okay, and then pushes away from it or pulls away from it, as it did right here with this wick of this candle here, close with this hammer candle. To the downside, that's a bearish candle. Then we look over on a lower time frame, look for a breaker structure, and look for a supply setup and take it going lower. Again, what would you aim at? Down here, this area here around 540. So now this is a supply zone. If it gets back here, what could happen? It could reject it and do what? It could break lower. So look for things like that when you're trading on the day. I'll leave it like that. That's all I have to say today. But I did want to say, because I mentioned it earlier in the video, if you're interested in joining the Elite Channel membership or becoming an Elite Channel supporter, people are always DMing me, sending me messages. All you have to do, you see right here, you're looking at the video now, somewhere near the share, the download, or subscribe button, you'll see a little button that says join, Join. Click on that. 2 tiers will pop up. One says loyal channel supporter, the other one says loyal channel, Elite Channel supporter or Elite Channel member. That's the one you want to click on if you want to gain access and have access to the trade breakdowns. Those are videos that are not made public. They are private videos that those that have signed up for and become an Elite Channel supporter or Elite Channel member have access to. Okay, $6.99 a month. It's we're talking about on a monthly basis, not $699. $6.99. A lot of you spend more than that on price a cup of coffee or for your lunch on a daily basis. So you're talking about on a monthly basis for $6.99, not daily or weekly. And you get the access to the private trade breakdown videos, as well as the video playlist. Those are a list of videos that I hand selected. As you see, there's over 600 videos here. I know it's a lot of videos. I've been pumping out a lot of content, but I've hand selected out other 600 videos that cover, to me, the most pertinent or most important information included within videos that I found that have helped many traders. And if you don't believe me, you can come over to the Discord community before you even sign up and ask the question, hey, has becoming an Elite Channel supporter or Elite Channel member helped you individuals out, or how many of you have signed up for it? You're going to get feedback, and people are going to tell you. I'm just telling you this right now, but do it for yourself. That people are going to say, yeah, the becoming an Elite Channel member has been game changing. There's additional videos, the trade breakdowns. Mike walks through and goes into detail or in depth about his mindset of how he's reading the market as he's taking these trades. But I'll leave it up to you. Ask some of the community members. Come over and become a part of the Discord community. Become a member and ask away. And again, if you want to sign up for that, it's $6.99. Click on the join button and become a member today if you would like to do so. All right. Again, I'm not an educator or teacher. I'm just sharing these videos for just for entertainment purposes, but for the same standpoint of showing you how I trade as a trader on the day. So I appreciate each and every one of you that have joined. There's tons of you that have joined, and lots of individuals that have joined and become an Elite Channel member are already on their way to profitability and doing well themselves. And lots of them have changed and totally turned their trading around. So I'll see everyone in the next video. Take care. Do me a favor. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and take the time to hit that sub button. Make sure to turn on all your post notifications. Click that bell. Turn your post notifications on so you never miss one of the uploads. And last but not least, drop a like on the video if you found value in the content. Take care. See you in the next one.